A scientist in India discovers a plant and names it in Hindi. A scientist in Germany finds the exact same plant and gives it a completely different name in German. A scientist in Japan does the same. 3 names, same plant. Nobody knows they are talking about the same organism. This was the real problem. The problem that built an entire branch of science. If you have already watched my shorts on this chapter, welcome back. This video connects every concept and takes it deeper. If this is your first time here, perfect. We are building everything from zero together. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how scientists name, group, and study every living thing on Earth. To solve the naming problem, scientists built a 4-step system. Step 1. Identification. Before you can do anything, you must study the organism. Understand what it is. Describe it. This is always first. You cannot name something you have not understood. Step 2. Nomenclature. Once you know what it is, you give it a universally accepted name. Step 3. Classification. You group similar organisms together into categories. And step 4. Taxonomy. This is the science that provides the rules for all 3 steps. Identification, nomenclature, and classification together. That is what taxonomy governs. Now, what exactly is the problem that made all of this necessary? Biodiversity. Between 1.7 and 1.8 million species are known and described on Earth, and scientists keep finding more every year. With that many organisms, local names simply do not work. Take a mango. In Hindi, it is aam. In Tamil, it is mamparam. In English, it is mango. Same fruit, 3 names, 0 agreement. The scientific name Mangifera indica solves this permanently. 1 name, every country, every language, every laboratory. Now the most important distinction in this entire chapter: taxonomy versus systematics. Taxonomy is the science of identification, nomenclature, and classification. It answers the question, what is this organism and where does it belong? Systematics is broader. The word comes from the Latin word systema, meaning systematic arrangement of organisms. Linnaeus used it as the title of his famous book, Systema Naturae. Systematics includes everything taxonomy does, but it also studies evolutionary relationships between organisms. How did one group evolve from another? Who are the ancient relatives? Taxonomy asks where. Systematics asks how we got here. Systematics is always the bigger picture. Taxonomy is a tool inside it. The universal naming system was created by a Swedish scientist named Carolus Linnaeus. He published a landmark work called Systema Naturae and gave the world the binomial nomenclature system, which is still used today. Bi means 2, nomial means name. So every organism gets exactly 2 words as its scientific name. The first word is called the generic name. It represents the genus. The second word is the specific epithet. It identifies the exact species within that genus. Together, they form one binomial name. For mango, Mangifera is the generic name. Indica is the specific epithet. 4 rules govern how every binomial name must be written. Rule 1. Latin. Names are written in Latin or Latinized form. Latin is a dead language. It never changes, so names stay stable forever. Rule 2. Capital and small. The genus name always starts with a capital letter. The specific epithet always starts with a small letter. Mangifera, capital M. Indica, small I. Never capital I. Rule 3. Italics or underline. When typed, both words are in italics. When handwritten in your exam, each word is underlined separately. Not one continuous line under both words, 2 separate underlines. Rule 4. Author name. The name of the scientist who first described the species is written in abbreviated form after the specific epithet. Mangifera indica Lin, where Lin stands for Linnaeus. One final point on nomenclature. Plants and animals are governed by different naming codes. Plants follow the ICBN, the International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. Animals follow the ICZN, the International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. Different codes, but one shared goal. Every organism gets one unique, universally accepted name. Classification is something you already do every day. The apps on your phone are grouped by type. Your wardrobe is sorted. Your books are arranged by subject. In biology, classification is the same instinct applied to organisms, grouping them into convenient categories based on observable characters. Early humans actually did this first, not for science, but for survival. Which plants are edible? Which animals are dangerous? Which herbs heal? The first classification systems were based entirely on usefulness to humans. Formal scientific classification came much later. The scientific word for each category in classification is taxon, plural taxa. Every level of classification, from the broadest to the most specific, is a taxon. Are animals a taxon? Yes. Are mammals a taxon? Yes. Are dogs a taxon? Yes. But they are at completely different levels. Dogs sits inside mammals, mammals sits inside animals. Think of it like folders inside folders on a computer. The deeper you go, the more specific the group, and the more characters the members of that group share with each other. 2 traps. Pause after each question and think before I reveal the answer. Trap 1. Which is correctly written? A. Mangifera indica. B. Mangifera indica. C. Mangifera indica. D. Mangifera indica. The answer is C. Capital M for genus, small I for specific epithet, italics. All others violate at least one rule. Trap 2. How many species are known on Earth? A. 1.5 million. B. 1.7 to 1.8 million. C. 2 million. D. 3 million. The answer is B. 1.7 to 1.8 million. This is the exact range from NCERT. 2 more. Trap 3. Which branch includes evolutionary relationships? A. Classification. B. Nomenclature. C. Taxonomy. D. Systematics. The answer is D. Systematics, not taxonomy. This is the single most confused point in this chapter. Systematics contains taxonomy plus evolutionary relationships. Taxonomy alone does not include evolutionary relationships. Trap 4. In Mangifera indica Lin, what does Lin mean? A. Country of origin. B. Plant family. C. Scientist who first described it. D. Classification code. The answer is C. Lin stands for Linnaeus, the scientist who first formally described and named this species. Final trap. And a quick summary of all 5 rules to carry with you. Trap 5. Naming rules for plants are governed by A. ICZN, B. ICBN, C. Both, D. WHO. Answer is B. ICBN. Plants equal ICBN, animals equal ICZN. Now, your 5 quick rules to never forget. 1. Identification before nomenclature, always. 2. Genus capital, specific epithet small. 3. Italics when typed, separate underlines when handwritten. 4. Lin, after the name means the author who described it. 5. Systematics is bigger than taxonomy, always. Let us go through every technical word from this chapter with its meaning in plain English. Screenshot each slide. Term meaning in plain English. Biodiversity. The total variety of all living things on Earth, different species, habitats, and ecosystems. Species. a group of organisms that share the same fundamental features and can reproduce with each other. Nomenclature. The system of giving organisms official scientific names so that every scientist uses the same name. Binomial nomenclature. The two-word naming system where every organism gets a genus name and a specific epithet. Generic name. The first word in a scientific name represents the genus, always starts with a capital letter. Specific epithet. The second word in a scientific name identifies the exact species within the genus, always small letter. Identification. The process of studying and describing an organism so it can be correctly recognized, always the first step in taxonomy. ICBN. International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. The rule book that governs how plants are named scientifically. Continuing the glossary. Term meaning in plain English. ICZN. International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. The rule book that governs how animals are named scientifically. Classification. The process of sorting organisms into groups based on features they share makes studying them manageable. Taxon. Any single unit or category in the classification system. One group at one level. Plural, taxa. Taxa, plural of taxon. All the categories and groups used in classification at any level. Taxonomy. The science that deals with identification, nomenclature, and classification of organisms. Systematics. A broader science that includes everything in taxonomy plus the study of evolutionary relationships between organisms. Systema Naturae. The Latin title of Linnaeus's famous book means the system of nature. It introduced binomial nomenclature. Carolus Linnaeus. The Swedish scientist who invented the binomial nomenclature system still used by scientists worldwide today. Last part of the glossary. Term meaning in plain English. Morphology. The study of the physical form and structure of an organism, what it looks like on the outside. Latinized. Written in the form of the Latin language, even if the original word came from another language. Author name. The abbreviated name of the scientist who first formally described and named a species, written after the specific epithet. Hierarchy. A system arranged in levels. Each level sits inside a broader one above it. Classification uses a hierarchy. Organism. Any individual living thing. Plant, animal, fungus, bacterium, or any other form of life. Mangifera indica. The scientific name of the mango plant. Mangifera equals genus, generic name. Indica equals species, specific epithet. Homo sapiens. The scientific name of human beings. Homo equals genus. Sapiens equals specific epithet. Means wise human in Latin. Ecology. The study of how organisms interact with each other and with their environment. Here is the one thing to carry from this entire chapter. Every rule we covered today, the Latin names, the two-word system, the capital letters, all of it exists for one reason. So that a scientist in India and a scientist in Brazil can look at the same organism and know they are talking about the same thing. Without confusion, without error, every time. Taxonomy is not just rules on a page. It is the foundation that makes all of biology possible. Chapter 1.2, Taxonomic Categories is next. That is where we go into the full classification hierarchy. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, and why the system is built the way it is. The link is in the description. Subscribe so you do not miss it.